acclaimed two-time author and motivational speaker extraordinaire. Give it up for the host of the Brandon Holt Show. It's Brandon Holt!
Good evening, Houston, Texas, and all over the world. Welcome to the 21st episode of the Brandon Holt Show. We are live here in Houston, Texas. We have a dynamite show in store. Make sure you share the feed with your friends and your family. Let's get started. My first guest is a young entrepreneur. She's a business owner, 7 years old, all the way out of Houston, Texas. This young lady has an amazing story. Honored to have her on the show. Before we bring her out, let's take a look at who she is.
Lorraine, aka Cookie, is the proud owner of Cookie Cares. Her amazing trend-setting cards are rooted and grounded in love, anchored in gratitude, and packaged with care. If you need a card saying, "Thank you, you are the greatest, I care plus you, thinking about you, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday," and many more, Lorraine is your go-to game changer. She is a model, philanthropist, motivational speaker, and your future business mogul, born and raised in Houston, Texas. Lorraine expresses love, gratitude, and care every day as she inspires other kids to do the same. Lorraine wants every little girl around the world to feel cared for and loved. The Brandon Holt Show welcomes Little Miss Lorraine.
Hey.
Hey, Lyrica and Lorraine, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing well. Hi, Lorraine.
Hi.
Welcome to the show, Lorraine. I appreciate you coming on.
So first, I really have an example, and I want to say thank you. And here's a card.
She has her.
She has her cards. Lorraine and Lyrica. Oh, that's beautiful, Lorraine. Lorraine, I'm so proud of you. Such a young lady, and you are out there doing your thing, making a difference in Houston. Tell us about yourself. Who is Lorraine? What school do you go to? What grade are you in? Do you play any sports? Talk to us.
So my favorite thing that I like to do that's off is like I like to clean or just like to like draw or color.
Where you go to school and what grade are you in?
I'm in second grade and I go to River Oaks Baptist, ROBS for short.
And I know you like unicorns, right? You like to draw unicorns and eat cherries with your mom.
No.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. That day is over.
But I do not draw unicorns.
So Lorraine, you have a business that you started. Tell us about your business.
So I basically started it when I was 4 because my mom just made up this, and I've only been selling them for 2 years because we had to actually make up the business for 1 year.
And what do you do? What do you sell? They don't know.
I sell cards.
So you sell cards. So what do you have on these cards? What kind of messages do you have?
We're about to get new cards, and we actually have an example right here, and we have another one that I can get in a few seconds.
So her business is Cookie Cares, and when she was about 3 years old, she noticed that some children did not have clothes. So she has an affinity for homeless people on screen. And her affinity for homeless people, I asked her about what would she do to help a young child that didn't have shoes. So we started with the shoe drive. And then one day she said, sharing is caring. So, wow, that's a business for her. It's Cookie Cares. And so we've carried that business name for her for the past couple of years. And we've done shoe drives, book drives. We currently are doing COVID relief cards for first responders. It's turned into a full gratitude card line. And so birthday cards, thank you cards. Go ahead.
So I actually have the example right here. This is one of our new ones, and we're trying to make new ones. And here's the one right here. It just says,
"Oh, wow!"
And it has like this sign. And but here's the whole card.
That is so cool. So Lorraine, do you design these cards yourself?
Now, I really would like to say thank you to Miss Vivian for making these cards.
So Lyrica, at what point did you notice that Lorraine had a gift for just being an entrepreneur? At what point did you see that something was special about your daughter?
Wow, that's a great question. I can recall when she was about 3 years old. We were at Walmart shopping, and she asked me to purchase a 10-pack of gum. And I said, no, that's too much gum. And she said, Mom, I'm not going to eat all of it. I just want one for myself, and the rest I can sell. And I thought to myself, how enterprising is that? And she just has an affinity for success and business, and she's always asking questions. Mom, who's the most successful business person? Who's the most successful tech person? And trying in my research and trying to help her figure it out, I'm learning a lot about business myself, and so I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to support her during this time.
And it's really important, Lorraine, that as parents we invest in our children, what they want to do, as opposed to trying to steer them in a direction that we want them to go in. And I'm watching how you're investing in your daughter, and it's like she's natural with what she's doing. What are some of the principles that you have instilled in her at such a young age?
I think, go ahead. You want to?
I want to.
Go ahead.
So, like, it's just that the business is like you start and end it, but you just keep going at a time.
You be perseverance and gratitude and care for others. She also is really big on affirmations. And so she learned affirmations starting at the age of 2. And I would say, of course, I was probably sharing affirmations for myself. And in her hearing the affirmations, she learned those. And so I would just say everything that we do is really centered around our love for Christ, our spiritual relationship with God, and being grateful for other people. And I would say enterprising.
So Lorraine, what are some of the lessons you want to share with all of the little girls out there who want to be just like you?
Like, I would just say keep trying every time, because so basically from the first question, I do play a few sports.
Okay. What sports do you play?
I play basketball, I play volleyball, I play soccer, and I do gymnastics.
Okay. So what do you want to be when you get older, Lorraine? You got this business, your cards are booming, everybody's buying your cards. What do you want to be when you get older?
So I have like 5 choices.
All right, let's hear it.
So an artist, a singer, a dancer, a police officer.
Whoa.
And an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Well, I tell you what, you're on your way as an entrepreneur. I'm so proud of you. I know your mom is proud of you. So let's talk about how we can purchase your cards. And everybody who's watching tonight, I want you to go on Lorraine's website. We're going to talk about how to get some cards. It's the holiday season. Christmas is coming up. Maybe you know someone who's in the hospital. She has get well cards. She has thank you cards, Merry Christmas cards, thinking of you cards. This is your night to get the perfect little card from a 7-year-old business owner. We want to hook her up and take care of her tonight because we're so proud of her. So Lorraine, tell us about your website, how to order your cards, and when can we expect our card in the mail?
So they basically can come in a huge box, or they can come in a little package.
You can go to cookiecares.org or lorraine.com, or email info@lorraine.com, and we'll be able to help place your order for you.
Okay, so that's lorraine.com and cookiecares.org. Now, Lorraine, we want to know, Lorraine, do you package these cards yourself? Because we want an autograph.
So I literally write down the cards, and if you want the mini packages, they're in this rainbow bag, and we can also give it in a bigger bag, like a medium bag, and we can pick them in a huge box, and we're supposed to make we're supposed to. My mom said we're gonna team up here to make like 300, 600 cards for doctors, and also here's like a little tip for the get well cards. So a few months ago, I thought of like getting a mansion for homeless people, and like a few weeks before, on Thanksgiving, I thought of like little pies for Thanksgiving to homeless people. And now we made up candy canes and covers. And next year we're going to do candy canes and cups. And we're going to do little packs of food next year.
Brandon, what she's saying is that for Christmas, she'd love to partner with the community to do a Christmas drive for homeless people and call it Candy Cane and Covers. And so you can contact her again or us on our website if you're interested in joining us with this activity and campaign.
Lorraine, that is so awesome. We are so proud of you. We wish you the best, and we want you to come back on the show when you have your next product or your next business adventure. Will you do that for us?
I'll think about it.
Okay, well, you think about it. That's good enough for me. Hey, everybody, this is young Lorraine with her mother, Lyrica. You can catch her at Lorraine.com or cookiecares.org. Make sure you order some of her cards tonight just in time for the holiday season. You can also follow Lorraine on Instagram at
Cookie Cares.
Cookie Cares. There you go. Hey, Lorraine, thank you for coming on.
Mr. Brandon, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right, everybody. That was Lorraine and her mother, Lyrica. What a great inspiration. Just seeing our young people with a business mindset, entrepreneurs, a great message for all parents. Let's continue to invest in our children and push them and encourage them into greatness. Hey, the show's going to get hotter tonight. My next two guests are legends in the comedy game. They are internationally renowned podcasters. They have a political podcast. We're here tonight to chop it up. Are you ready to laugh? Are you ready to just relax and have a good night? Hey, before I bring them out, let's take a look at their backstory.
Shane Forbes is a stand-up comedian. He's been seen on CBS, The Late Late Show, two-time BET's Comic View Grandstand winner, HBO Def Jam and Def Poetry, Comedy Central's Jamie Foxx Laugh-A-Palooza, NBC's Heroes, CSI, NCSI, and many more. Black Pedro hails from Detroit, Michigan. He now performs comedy at the Hollywood Improv and Laugh Factory. He's appeared on the hit BET show Hell Date, Comics Unleashed, Prank My Mom, On Air Dares, and dozens of national commercials. These two hilarious entertainers teamed up to co-host their political podcast, Savage AF. The Brandon Holt Show welcomes Shane Forbes and Black Pedro.
Hey, Shane Forbes and Black Pedro.
Hey, Brandon Holt, what's going on, sir? Thank you for having us.
I'm doing great, gentlemen. Thank you for stopping by. Glad to have you.
Hey,
appreciate it.
It's the least I could do in my dining room.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, just really excited for you and your podcast. Kind of tell us about how you guys hooked up with each other, two comedians to put this podcast together.
Oh, okay. I bailed him out of jail. I bailed him out of jail for the fourth time. And then I said, hey, man, you need to get something to get yourself together. No, I mean, you tell him, Pedro.
And he was like, you owe me a podcast after this. And
after I get you out of jail.
No, honestly,
no, he wasn't in jail. No.
Yeah. I know, not that night. I've known Shane probably 15, 16 years now. It was at the Hollywood Improv that we sort of officially met. And I was hosting that night. And he was one of the, he was probably closing the show because he's usually a closer around town. You know what I'm saying? He brings the house down. And we just got to chit-chatting. And long story short, man, he was like, brother, I'm going to take you on the road with me. And that's how my road career got started. He was the first headliner to ever reach out and be like, you know what? I see what you're doing. And rather than robbing these people, let's take you on the road so you can get some real money, some honest money. You know what I'm saying? So, no, but he actually he helped me literally launch a road career. And then, years later, when an opportunity came around for us to do a podcast together, we were each doing separate podcasts with other individuals. And when those times ended, we kind of turned to each other like, what you doing, dog? What you doing, dog? Well, let's do a show.
Yeah.
Sounds like a show.
Yeah.
And that was it. And so we've been doing this about 2.5 years almost now.
Yeah.
Probably approaching 3 years. Yeah.
And I want to tag on what you just said, Pedro. I think that's really important, that we don't want to miss the fact that Shane brought you in under his wing. And we need more of that today. Hey, it's not about me benefiting financially or promoting myself, but he passed the love on down to you. And now you guys got a great podcast. So Shane, how important today is it for we as men to pass down the wisdom and knowledge to our young generation so we can save them before we lose them?
Well, I think that the main thing is there's a lot of brothers that get in a position. I was lucky to get in a position to be able to bring comics in. And I just feel like a lot of men don't. Once you get yours, you forget that you came from somewhere. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Like,
it does.
Yeah, you're like, yo, I mean, somebody helped me. Like the person that helped me was put me on shows was Paul Mooney. It was Paul Mooney used to put me on shows, which once you work with Paul Mooney and Dick Gregory, and Dick Gregory would cuss me out, but still put me on the show. Like he was just like, look, you need to save your money and get yourself together. And the show's at 7:00. And then he would just walk off. I go, what is wrong with this man? But yeah, it was Paul Mooney would put me on the shows. I would open for Paul Mooney. D.L. Hughley. I've been on shows with D.L. Hughley. A lot of those cats was like, yeah, man, the light-skinned dude is funny. Put him on the beginning of the show. So I got on the shows. And then I saw Pedro, and I was like, this dude's funny. Why is the improv fronting? The comedy club was fronting. And I was like, we need to get out there. And so that's initially what it started with. Yeah, that's what it initially started with. But I think that this sounds really bad, but I think that specifically brothers need to actually grab other brothers and go, look, this is the right direction. Stop doing that. Stop doing this. This is how you get in this door. So, and I've been lucky to be in all of the main comedy clubs. So,
and if I could chime in and just fully attest that is Shane every day of his career. I mean, after shows, he holds court with comics, and we sit around and try and soak up knowledge and information and stories. You know what I mean? He's telling cats how to build up their social media, how to get in contact with clubs, how to get their website up. You know what I mean? Like how to actually build a following. And it's just, he's very, very giving of his time and his information and his knowledge. So to back up your question, like, because I've had so many experiences with other headliners that were not positive, and you think, oh, but we supposed to be brothers, man. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I thought we was brothers. But a lot of brothers don't think like that. But Shane is a true one who does, for sure.
So you guys came together to put a podcast together, and it's more of a political podcast. What exactly does that mean? Tell us about your show, how viewers can chime in. Let's talk about it.
I like to joke and say we are MSBET, right? Like, so we talk about news, we talk about stories, but we are raw, uncensored, unfiltered, and on point. You know what I mean? Facts matter to us. So you can get as emotional as you want to about things we say, but at the end of the day, we're most likely going to hit you with facts and then a whole lot of jokes in between.
Right. And plus you got to look at it this way, man. I feel like sometimes when you're in the barbershop, you get more information than you do from the news, because the news be saying crazy stuff. So I was like, yo, we need to talk about it like we really talk about it. We need to talk about the issues. And right now, as you can see, my son just gonna walk through. See, that's what happens. He's just gonna walk through and act like, man, I ain't doing nothing.
Sorry. There's a young black male in your apartment, Shane. Run.
No, I have a grown, but he's young man. But no, right now, I think that the main thing for me is, and he gonna just walk through it again.
And put a mask on this time, like now we won't know who he is with the mask.
Yeah, they're gonna know who he is. No, I think that to your question, the main thing for the show is to digest it for people who just don't have time to watch MSNBC, CNN all day. We condense it, soundbite it, give it out to the people, put a little sugar on top of it, make it taste good and funny. But it is raw, so I want the family, because I saw the beautiful, cute little girl and the moms. It's definitely for adults. So it's adult, but it's a lot of information.
Yeah. We appreciate you guys toning it down. What do you feel are some of the hottest issues today that we need to be talking about that you guys are discussing on your show?
Shane, you want to start this one off, bro?
Well, I'm thinking that there's a lot of people that didn't realize the value of their vote. There's a lot of brothers like, I ain't vote, man. I don't need to vote. We need to value the vote. I'm glad we got the orange citrus Hitler out of office, because come on, man, he was a little nutty. And now he's like, I ain't leaving. I don't care what y'all say. No, you leaving. You soon
hit the road, Jack.
There's gonna be people. The Sandman will be at the door dancing you out of the White House. So I think that the information we want to give to a lot of people that don't talk about is how we take our political power, turn it into money, and turn it back into our own businesses. So that's the main thing I wanted to let people know, and learning about, and Pedro's tipping me to a cryptocurrency and on and on and on. There's a lot of information that we just don't listen to because we're too busy caring about what Will Smith and Jada talk about on the red table talk. Not that that's bad. It's just like, you know,
we do a bit of balance with some fun stories. I mean, we talked about Nate Robinson taking a nap in front of the world this week. You know what I mean? Like just laying out in the ring. You know, just hey, I'm a wake me up in 15 minutes. You know, we get into some light things, but you know, especially this year, 2020, there's just been so many heavy things going on. So, you know, between trying to keep our community healthy during a pandemic, you know what I mean, and passing on as much information and encouraging, you know, the right and positive behavior around that. Personally, I've been taking our audience through my journey into gun ownership, you know, responsible, legal, and getting training as well, because I do think it's a part of the civil rights movement and Black people's struggles that we haven't talked about ever, and we talk about it responsibly. You know what I mean? So I think there are just so many layers to life right now that Black people especially need to engage in. You know, political involvement, civic engagement, protest, right? But also, you know, prepare yourself to be able to protect yourself, because America doesn't always do that.
And to talk about Mike Tyson and Roy Jones doing the ARP tour fight, I was sitting there going, somebody gonna break a hip. They're gonna break a hip.
I saw where you put that.
I'm telling you, I just was like, are you? I mean, I'm not mad at old dudes fighting, because that happens all the time. I just felt like, why are we watching this? But people watch this. So we talk about that, talk about some of the goofiness mixed with the seriousness. But, you know, you don't want to be too serious, because if you're too serious, then people go, man, this is a downer.
Right.
I mean, we are a comedy, you know, political comedy podcast. So
you don't want people doing this on the show.
Comedy, right? Jokes are always our through line.
Right off the top, right off the cuff, best clean joke you can think of.
Oh, Pedro.
Come on, Pedro.
I'm the opener, so I got to do it.
Here we go.
All right, so let me go through the Rolodex here. So, you know, I call myself Black Pedro, but the reality is my real name is actually Pedro Delfino Hernandez, right? But I grew up in Detroit, you know, so that's, for those who don't know, Detroit was about 115% Black when I was growing up. We had a Black mayor, Black city council. We even had Black white people like Eminem, you know what I'm saying? So we, you know, in Detroit, you are Black, but people always look at me, I just try and introduce myself normal, like, hi, I'm Pedro. And they're like, Pedro? And I'm like, yeah, but without the question marks. Like, who spells the name like that? You know, like, Pedro? People go into Scooby-Doo mode when they meet me. So That's what I have to deal with as a black man named Pedro Hernandez who does not play baseball. They're like, aren't you pitching tonight? What are you doing?
You know what's wild? It's like I actually did that with him at first too, because I thought he was just like kind of name is Pedro, and you high yellow too.
Spanish. It's Spanish. It's just Spanish.
Let's try to act like Brandon ain't high. He high yellow too, so you already know.
Hey, Shane, we're not gonna go there, man. I am darker than you, brother.
Okay, so first of all,
I know it's winter time. We're doing the best we can.
No. As the only one who would fail the brown paper bag test here. Let me be the judge of that, but the three of us could form a merengue band or something because they would not know what we are. You know what I'm saying?
But no, you're beige. I don't know why you try to act like you. He said, "No, man, I'm darker than you." Listen, Django. First off, you already know that but no, I that is so wild how black people constantly question your blackness, and I was like, you don't think I'm black? Come to the bank with me and see if I can get a loan.
Yes.
And you go, oh, I'm sorry, you're a Negro. We can tell. I'll be sure wants a loan. Everybody, hey, the guy from New Jack City wants a loan. Listen, Ice-T, and they always call me every light-skinned dude. Listen, Ice-T, but first off, okay, nobody asked you that.
Like, y'all blend in. Y'all kind of blend in to one light character.
He looks like, you know what? You look like you really go through all your bills consistently. I don't like I jump around. I go, man, this is the light bill again. You look like you consistently say, look, we're gonna sit down and handle everything that we need to do. I, on the other hand, sometimes fall asleep after eating a big meal.
Hey, I've always been curious, guys. Have you ever told a joke on stage and you didn't get a reaction? Now, you thought it was funny when you were working on it, but everybody was looking at you like, bruh, come on, man.
Never.
How did you? Never?
Every joke I've ever told has always been funny. Everybody has always laughed at everything I've ever said. No, of course, man. It happens to everybody.
Hey, man, first off, speak for yourself, bro. I don't know what
my bad. I'm the novice here. My bad. I'm just the opening act.
I'm going to give you an example of how bad I did one time in D.C. I was destroying this room. I did a joke about Marion Barry. Now, I don't know if y'all know who Marion Barry is. Marion Barry was the mayor that was doing crack. And I just asked the question to the audience, how did you support a crackhead? That's all I asked. And they turned on me and started booing me. Listen, okay, so
that's our crackhead. That is our crackhead.
We elected him. He's allowed to do crack if he wants to, as long as he get me to work on time. So they booing me. I'm done. I go, you know what? Apparently y'all don't like what I'm saying, so I'm gonna get off stage. I get off the stage. They booed me into the parking lot while I'm in the car, and the other comic I was waiting for the other comic, so they literally tapped on the window in the car, and then I rolled the window down, and this dude solo booed me. So if you talk about that's the worst, and I left and went, you know what? I ain't never doing comedy again until tomorrow.
And you know, and that's really a powerful thing. On a more serious note, what kind of word can you give to the person out there? Maybe their self-esteem is low. They put their effort into everything, whether they studied in school, whether they prepared for a sports game, and their performance was not up to par. And the response from the people they needed validation from was not what they expected. So it kind of just hurt them a little bit mentally. What can you say to that individual tonight?
My attitude about it is, if I would have thought, oh, okay, I got to quit. At the end of the day, you have no choice but to move forward. Life moves forward. You grow old to die. So in the interim, why wouldn't you just absolutely, positively, once you fail, go forward? That's like, I'm not into football anymore, but football, it's like if you get tackled the first time, what are you going to be like? Game over? You got me that one time. No, you get up, hit the hole again. So I would say anybody out there, you know what? There's a lot of bad stuff going on. You got to focus on going forward, moving forward. I've had during COVID, I've had 6 people that I knew that are gone, 6 people. And I just I told my son, I told my family, you just got to keep moving forward and know that sun's going to shine. It's not going to always be the storm. The sun is going to shine. So you have to know that. And if you don't know the sun's going to shine, then maybe you might not be strong enough, then you lean on somebody else that you know knows the sun gonna shine, and let them bring some sunshine to you. Now, I know that sounded real corny, but I've been there from the bottom of my heart.
I've never heard Shane talk about sunshine so much in my life. That's amazing.
What's
you brought that
sunshine?
up of him, Brandon. For me, I would tell anybody out there that you know, if you're actually doing what you love and you're you know, pursuing a dream, let's say, that's always going to come from inside of you. So external validation feels good, right, at times, but if you're really doing what you love, you're not doing it for that. You're doing it to complete yourself, to be yourself, to be who you are, right? And so the giving ups and downs within that, you just have to be strong enough to ride those, you know what I mean? And sometimes we aren't. So like Shane says, find a network you can lean on. Don't feel like you're on an island, but ultimately your motivations for what you do should always come from within and not from external validation.
Right.
You know, that's just kind of what
it shouldn't come from. It shouldn't come from outside, and it shouldn't come from alcohol. So you shouldn't be like, I'm drunk, I can do anything. And you know, then why are you naked at the zoo? What happened to your life?
And you know, Shane and Pedro, it seems like anxiety is at an all-time high right now. We got the vaccines coming out. People are nervous. Should I take it? Should I not? What are you guys' thoughts on the whole pandemic and the vaccines coming out?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a man of math and science who believes in those things. It was hard with the current administration and the leadership there. Trumpty Dumpty is what we call him, or your impeached president, Donald Trump. But you know, the snake oils that he was peddling this year, you know, it for me personally, that puts some shade on any vaccine that might come out. You know, you're like, if this guy endorses it, I don't know. But I have no problem listening to, you know, the Faucis of the world, and you know, the coronavirus team that the Biden administration is putting together. That's something that feels more normalized, that you can listen to, and you know, listen, if it turns out to be some zombie serum, I ain't even in the first batch anyways, right? It's going to, so we're gonna have zombie doctors if it goes foul anyway. And then I'll just sit back and be like, well, you know what? I'm gonna stay in the basement. But you know, I try not to get caught up in those conspiracy theories too much. I get it. Black people have been through a lot. We have been experimented on. You know, we have been used as guinea pigs in the past, and all kinds of other experiments too have occurred. So both social, medical, you know, whatever it may be. So I get the idea of not wanting to be another guinea pig now, but I'm hoping that we're moving in the transition between administrations towards a place where we can get back to believable, credible, you know, like listening to like this earlier this year, they were doing commercials for science. They're like, science, remember that? we're using it.
Yeah, science works.
You know, it's like,
I'm not saying
Brandon, you have to do a science commercial.
You're going to take the vaccine because I don't want, like, next time I see Brandon, I don't want to see an arm growing out of his back. Like, man, what happened? Hey, man, I don't want to, like, you know, I don't want to end up looking like the gremlin after he fell in the water. But you got to, there's gremlin, the cute gremlin, then there's the crazy one that end up biting people on the face. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. See, all the people that's my age, you know what a gremlin is. But no, I think the main thing for me was it is so hard when we had an orange pathological liar that was in charge and a whole bunch of people condoning his pathological lies. I had the biggest inauguration in the history of inauguration. You didn't see Obama's, you didn't see the footage. So I think with the vaccine, I think it's going to be a slow burn. I'm going to have to watch how many people end up growing leathery wings, and you know what I'm saying? I'm like, if I see somebody with a third buttocks, I'm like, maybe,
you're like, oh,
yeah,
no,
maybe I'll wait a little bit until they get that whole third buttocks thing together, because you ain't supposed to have 3 butt cheeks. You're supposed to have 2.
So do you guys feel that the venue for your career as comedians will open up in the near future? Kind of what's your forecast on everything coming back to normal again?
You ask good questions.
Yeah, man.
Man.
You be making us think and stuff. Hey, you slick. I got my eye on you, Brandon Holt.
Yeah. Just because you're darker than me, you think you can just say stuff like that.
Houston, we have a problem. Brandon Holt be asking questions.
Yeah, it's a really good question.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I'm not, I'm not sure if we'll ever get back to a normal, right? I don't know. I don't know what that means, but
wow, you're hopeful. What was that?
Hey, man, hey.
I don't know if it'll ever be the same.
The hope part of the show was the 7-year-old who started her business at 4. Okay, we are the comedians. We're gonna tell you the truth.
No. It's gonna get back to normal. It's gonna take a while. Stop it. It's gonna.
But let's assume it does. But I think right now what's important is what Shang and I did a few months back, because we were in an internet radio studio for a year and a half, 2 years, right? And doing the show and bringing in guests and booths and mic and engineer, and you point at stuff and you go like this, and then one day I'm just sitting in the living room like, what we gonna do? So what this pandemic did do though is we found an opportunity. One day we were like, yo, let's just jump on IG Live. We started there. Now we found a way to multi-stream to YouTube and Facebook while taking the audio and uploading them as podcasts. So I think we're in a space where we have to realize that the norms aren't necessary always, right. And that we are in a space in the time when we can create our own space to succeed, right? Like just like you're doing, right? Like right now, that's what my MSBET joke is about, right? Like right now, we look like any news show or any other entertainment venue because they're all sitting in their living rooms too, right? For the most part, right? So that playing field has been leveled, and we have an opportunity to play on that field now. And I think for me, that was the important lesson to take from this was like not sit back and wait for things to get normal again, but find ways to create a new norm that works for you. That's
true. And it's Brandon, it's working. And I just want to say something else. I see the picture. I went through your Facebook. I am very jealous of the fact that everybody in your family is good looking. You getting on my nerves. Like why they all? You got to have one little ugly one.
It's like a brochure family. It's like It's like the family that comes with the frame, and you like, man. I was like, why would I put my family in this when this one looks so good?
Why does the whole family look good?
Why would I put my family in there?
I know I got some mud ducks. I got a couple mud ducks in my family. Like we don't. They don't just wear masks. They wear a bag. I'm like, wow, really, Cindy? You're just gonna go out in daylight? You're gonna just go out in the daylight? You ain't worried about nobody tackling you and taking you back to the pet cemetery.
So guys, real quick before we close out the interview, how can people follow you, Shane? Man, my heart goes out to you, bro. Instagram got hacked, so we're gonna.
Man. 50.
Black Pedro, how can we follow you on Instagram since Shane is kind of out of the loop right now?
For now.
Oh yeah, no. So follow at
Shane. That was supposed to be my joke for the night, but you didn't.
Settle down, young man. See, I told you.
You crazy. You crazy.
I told you he was gonna start trouble.
Yeah. Hey man, so if you're on the Instagram, guys, follow me at Black Pedro. It's spelled at, the little sign, and then Black Pedro. Okay, that's how you spell it. Black and then Pedro. If you can't spell those, I need you to kick yourself in the back of your head. Like just take your foot, apply it to the back of your head. Also, even more importantly, follow the show's handle, Savage AF Radio, at Savage AF Radio on Instagram. And even more importantly, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, ring the bell for the notifications, and share it with your friends. Just look up Savage AF Podcast on YouTube. We will come up. Do that.
And you need to, what y'all need to do. One, I like the way you got this together, brother. I see what you're doing. Yeah, I'm watching you. I'm gonna be watching you. No, I go to the website. If anybody's listening now, again, don't go to the website if you little kid, because you gonna get a surprise.
We for the kids, we not for their ears though. You know what I'm saying?
We for the adults, but no.
We need a mommy daddy filter.
IamShang.com, IamShang.com. I got people working on my Instagram, getting the Instagram back up. But they didn't just hack me there. Check this out. They hacked me across the board. My Facebook, Twitter, IG bank account because my bank account was attached to one of my Facebooks. So they got me for a grip of money. So, but the bank's fixing that. So, yeah, go to the website, iamshank.com. We appreciate anybody that's listening. Make sure you support this dude, even though he 2 grades shader darker than me.
Well, hey guys, real quick, the young lady who came on has the cards. Can the 3 of us commit to getting a bundle tonight? I got
absolutely
a bundle.
No, listen, I literally, after watching her, I had to step away for 1 second, look in the mirror and say, get your life together, Pedro. This girl is 7 and has a business. What am I doing with my life? So yeah, I definitely want to support it. And that's another thing we do is highlight Black businesses on the show every now and then. And just last week we were talking to the only Black legal gun dealer in the state of California. You know what I mean? So,
and our next guest coming out, guys, she's a young actress. She's 7 years old. She's already hit Hollywood, got her first Nike commercial. So when you got the next interview, try to help make some connections for this young lady out there, because she's storming on the scene in Hollywood. And I know, as we all, like we said, as Black men, as we come together, man, we're just passing that love down so that we can pave the way and open the door for other people. Absolutely. So guys, I appreciate you coming on, man. Much love to both of you. Be safe out there in the pandemic. Everybody, my main man, Shane Forbes, and what do they call him?
Black Pedro, baby.
Black Pedro. All right, have a wonderful night. Thank you.
All right, man.
All right, everyone. We are now down to our final guest. My final guest is a rising superstar, and she is no stranger to the camera. She has a bubbly personality, and she won over the Brandon Holt show several years ago when she jumped into the entertainment industry. Before I bring this young lady out, let's take a look at her backstory. Dakota Gray hails from Dallas, Texas. This classy, full of life, 7-year-old model, dancer, and actress is catapulting her way quickly into the Hollywood scene. Dakota first appeared in a Nike commercial at age 7 as lead child actor. In 2019, she was selected to compete in the Model Talent Expo, where she won Best Headshot, 2-person scene, dancer, child model runway, and actor monologue. She is joined by her father, Carlos, and mother, Chastity. The Brandon Holt Show welcomes actor Dakota Gray and family. Hey, Dakota.
Oh,
hi, how are you?
How's it going, Holt?
I'm good. So, Dakota, we have your mom. Hi, Miss Chastity. How are you?
Wow, good. How are you?
I'm doing good. And Andre, how are you, sir?
Good.
Happy
belated birthday to you and Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Hey, Dakota, did you know that I used to work with your dad?
I did.
We used to have a debate. We used to debate in the barbershop who could cut the hair the best, and I could never cut as good as those guys.
Man, look at you. Appreciate that. Okay.
Hey, thank y'all for coming. So, Dakota, you are in the 7th grade. Tell us about yourself. Who is Dakota?
I'm in 2nd grade.
Oh, 2nd. Okay. You are 7 years old in the 2nd grade. Okay.
Don't push it that fast, Hope.
So tell us about yourself, Dakota. Do you play sports? What do you like most about the 2nd grade?
That I get to make like a lot of friends. I love making friends.
That's really cool. So you love making friends. What do people like about you the most?
Let me think about that. I really think.
What do they say? You're what?
I'm pretty.
What else?
I'm good behavior.
Good job. You always have to have good behavior. What else?
To be famous, of course.
Oh, nice.
So Dakota, you're famous. Like, we all know who you are. Everybody's seen you on YouTube. I watch you. I keep up with you. You're a model. You're a dancer. You're an actor. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a famous model so I can travel all over the world and do runway shows.
Wow.
I love acting, so I want to have my own TV show on Disney, or even Nickelodeon.
So Disney or Nickelodeon. So I heard you were on a Nike commercial. Is that true? That's the word on the street.
That's true. I was in a Nike commercial when I was 4.
And you were the lead actor, right?
Yes, sir.
So what was that experience like?
It was like my first commercial, I think. Well, like it was very fun to have my first commercial. I was like when I was 4. That was a very fun experience.
Did you get a pair of Nikes?
I got a pair of Nikes. I think they're like purple and blue and black. They're like colorful.
So Dakota, your mom and dad really love you. They support you. They're your biggest fans. They're always pushing you out there. How important is that to have mom and dad encouraging you along the way?
That is very important because some people don't have moms or dads. They like sometimes get adopted. I know that's very sad. They're orphaned. That's very important to me.
And you're such an encouragement for all of the little kids out there today. Did you know a lot of people want to follow in your footsteps? What can you say to the young boy or the young girl who says, I want to be just like Dakota when I get older?
I'll say, don't give up. Try your best. If you want to do this, then you do it. You can do whatever you put your mind to.
Okay. So, Mr. and Miss Gray, tell us about your thoughts with your daughter. What made you want, at what age did you know that, hey, there's something special here? We need to encourage her and push her into the direction where her talents are. Chastity.
Yes. So for me, it was at a very young age, maybe about 1 year old. At 1, Dakota was actually making full, complete sentences. People didn't even think that she was 1 year old, right? And I think when she was maybe about 2.5 or 3 years old, I asked her, what did you want to be when you grow up? And she said a star. And when she told me that, I knew it because she's always had that energetic about her. She's a people person. She's never been shy. And I mean, she's always the life of the party. She's only 7 and she's been like this ever since she was like 1 or 2 years old. So I knew that God had blessed her with a lot of talents. And I'm very happy that she's my daughter.
And Andre, Dakota is a fashion designer and she wants to design clothes for Barbie. And I'm just curious to know, who's the better dresser? Does Dakota kind of show you guys what to wear? Is there a competition going on in the house? Because I looked at your Instagram. Hey, come on, Dakota, tell the truth.
Yeah, believe me. I had to pick out my dad's shoes and everything. I was like, you should know who it is. You're a professional barber.
Oh, there she goes.
Well, that's cool. So Dakota, you're really multi-talented. I like that about you. You're not just one-dimensional. You can act. Can you sing? Forgot to ask you that.
I can't sing.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna take some what?
Singing lessons.
Right.
So Dakota, do you ever plan to move to Hollywood, or are you gonna live in Dallas for the rest of your life?
Never. No, please. No. That could kill a girl.
So you want to move to Hollywood?
Yes, please. That's where all the stars are. That's where Ariana Grande is.
So, and I read in your bio that you want to have a reality show, and I can just see this reality show already in the making. The Grays, Carlos is just kind of chill, laid back, Barbara in the family, Chastity and Dakota, they're the bubbly personality. I can see this reality show happening. Can you see it, Dakota?
I can see it clear.
So Dakota,
Still like a glass of water.
So Dakota, I want you to speak to everybody watching. You don't know who's watching out there. Oprah Winfrey could be watching you right now. What do you have to say to the world so they can pick you up? Because, hey, Dakota's headed to Hollywood. All the producers, the directors, whoever's watching, come get this young lady now because she's getting ready to blow up. Dakota, what can you say to them?
I would say thank you, whoever's supporting me. And my haters, back off. And I'm a hard worker. I'm a hard worker too.
Good. Very determined. Right.
So on Andre, we go way back. I don't know how many years we go back, 14, 15 years. I have a lot of respect for you. I remember when I was in a low season in my life, you brought me in the barbershop and you allowed me to cut for several years. And I watched your character, your integrity, all of the barbers in there, but you were a great barbershop owner. You were great with people. And I said, man, this is a good guy. He's a really good guy. And so I can see why your daughter's so successful. I can see why your wife is engaged with what's going on. From your years, what are some of the keys to success that you've learned that maybe some other parents out there watching can grab a hold of?
Man, stay close to your kids. Always just, pray together. Make sure, y'all communicate. Communication is a major key. And also, just kind of let them know, don't work too hard all the time, but when you work hard, work smart. Give it your all. Don't give up. Just stay close to your kids. Don't give up on them. If they fail, push them back, pick them back up.
And Chas, thank you for sharing that, Carlos. Chastity, what do you feel? Where do you see your family, Chastity?
Yes.
In the next few years?
Yes, I feel like the sky's the limit for our family. If we continue to go on God's path and continue to go on that journey, I feel like that there's nothing that we can't do. God has blessed us with a lot of great talents, and I'm just so glad and so blessed to be married to my husband Carlos and have my wonderful daughter. And I feel like that we can do anything that we put our minds to, because teamwork makes the what?
Dream work. And I know all the scoop on Carlos, so I'm gonna send you my Cash App. I'm taking Cash App.
Okay, yeah, okay, I got you. Thank you.
So Dakota, we are really, really proud of you, and we wish the best for you. Kind of tell us what is life like for you going forward? You've already accomplished so much at your age. What's the next step for you?
The next step for me is probably to be on a movie or like a show. That would be amazing.
Who would you like to do it with?
Taraji. I'm her biggest fan. I want her.
So make sure you give her a shout out right now. Maybe she's watching. Who knows?
Shout out to Taraji. Please watch this.
Hey, Taraji Henson, if you're watching, this young lady wants to do a movie with you. She can be your co-star in a movie. Yeah. We know that she's going to make a difference. So, Dakota, last question for you, unless you have a question for me. There's a little kid watching right now. There's a little kid who's inspired to go be great like yourself. And maybe they're kind of sad because things aren't working out like they wanted to. What can you say to that particular person right now to pick their head back up and encourage them that you can do it if you keep going?
Hey, I would just say don't pout. It's okay. Everything will go out with you. Just believe in God. He will just go through his past. Do what your parents tell you to do. Don't give up. Just try your best.
Oh, that was
all that matters.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Dakota, can we follow you on Instagram?
Yes, I think it's Gray Dakota 2013.
Yes,
Gray Dakota. Everybody hear that out there? Gray, Gray. Somebody hit that in the comment section. Gray Dakota 2013. Make sure you follow Dakota. Keep up with what she's doing. Her father, Andre, is a barber downtown. Carlos, you want to throw a shout out real quick? How can they get your services?
Oh, yeah. If you need to reach me, go to carlosandregray.booksy.com. You can book from there. Just look for me on an app called Booksy. Hey, that's good looking at. Appreciate that, Holt.